so I know that you've been wondering where the Belvedere has been, and I too have been wondering the same. The last time that we went to the racetrack, when we got our 690 pass, we didn't realize it at the time, but a couple weeks later I was underneath the car and found that we had an issue with the drive shaft. The drive shaft did not like that 690 pass. Sheesh. Trying to saw the drive shaft in half because the drive shaft was hitting the bottom of the floor pan. Really, it's a bar angle issue. The way that this 4-link is set up, it's really promoting the car to squat a lot. I'd seen before where it was rubbing the drive shaft on the floor pan slightly, and so I actually raised the car up slightly in the rear, put about a 1/4 inch of ride height in the rear, and I figured that it'd be okay. But the old driver of this car was at least 100 pounds lighter than me. So when you stick 100 pounds in a car, that is now 100 pounds that you can weight transfer, and it just promoted the car to squat even more, and it was trying to saw the drive shaft in half. So at that point, we had the options of pulling the drive shaft out, having a new tube put in it, and going back and trying to make some more passes. But really there wasn't any point of that because we were going to be changing the power plant of the car, and so we want to sell the engine, the transmission. We're going to be putting a different engine and transmission in it, so the drive shaft was going to be have to be redone for that anyway, so no point in spending money twice. So we kind of just called it quits, worked on some other stuff in the meantime, but now we are ready to get this engine sold because that is going to be the next thing that needs to happen in order for the Belvedere project to move forward. Been kind of beating around the bush on what we're going to put in this thing, and kind of talking about like what our plans are with it, but we want to do some drag and drive type of stuff, basically have something that we can play around with at our local races, and do some transmission development to get a transmission swap out there for guys in the near future. So what do you guys think? Drop a comment below of what engine setup and transmission setup that we're going to be putting in the Belvedere. Leave your comments below. But this video is a little bit more of a for sale post. We really need to get the engine sold out of this thing. So let's talk about what it is. So this is an all iron 440 based big block Mopar. It's got Indy iron heads on it, so it's a water block, water head, very streetable. Just drove it 45 minutes here. I've driven it a couple 45-minute trips. You know, it's a big block Mopar. It doesn't get the best fuel mileage, but if you're easy on it, you know, you can get 6 to 8 miles to the gallon out of it. Really stout running engine. Been 690 in the 8th mile at 3,521 pounds is what it ended up weighing with me in it. That's like 1090s in the quarter, and that equates out to being about 550 horsepower, and that is on pump gas. So this is a pretty nice running piece if you're looking for something stout to put in your old Mopar, muscle car, or muscle truck, and you want to go out and cruise the thing. So this thing is going to come complete carburetor to oil pan. It has a Holley Dominator carburetor, MSD distributor, wires. I mean, we're changing all of that. I don't need any of it, so I would like to see all of that go to a new home where it can be used. It's got a nice Mazier aftermarket water pump on it. It's got a really nice Indy oil pump set up on it. This thing will make 100 pounds of oil pressure, absolutely no problem. Haven't had any issues out of this thing. So super neat piece if you're looking for getting into a big block cheap. I'm willing to part ways with this thing for $8,000. That's headers, everything you see, and I'm not going to pull it out until somebody wants to come here and hear it run, so that way you can actually see it for yourself. You're not just taking my word on it or trusting a video of it. I want you to come here and hear it run, and then we'll pluck it out and you can have it. If you're wanting the transmission setup with it as well, that is a 727. It's a reverse manual valve body, no trans brake. It's a foot brake car, but it has a converter. I don't know anything about the transmission other than the stall that's in that converter seems to be paired very well for this engine, very well for foot braking, and it actually street drives really nice with it. So if though somebody was really wanting to buy the engine and transmission, I think that would be the way to do it, because it's all seems to be matched so nicely. So I'd let the transmission go with it for an extra 1,500 bucks. So if you want to buy engine and transmission, hit me up, shoot me an email to info@getloganbuilt.com, and let's make a deal. If somebody, doesn't need a couple of the items on it and stuff, I'd be willing to, negotiate a little bit, but we need to get it sold so that way we can start on the new project with this thing and really start making some content. So that's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. If you're interested in this combination, if you got any more questions, you want to talk to me about it, email at info@getloganbuilt.com, and I'd be happy to talk to you. Thanks, guys. Catch you on the next one.